Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving it energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up from my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got the time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen them down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a meal, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Come down and I'll meet them at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45. I was just double checking if I was blowing everybody's eardrums out because the past few streams, guys, this microphone has been messing with me. But what is going on, Mafia? Welcome back to another amazing live stream. We're going to have a good time tonight. I want to take a look at the Bitcoin price action. Is Bitcoin potentially about to make a big move to the downside? I want to talk about some of the higher time frames, guys, and some things that we're seeing that may be calling for some downside. But to be quite honest with you guys, we are still just absolutely brutally sitting in this sideways consolidation. So I want to break down this price action for you guys. I'm not going to spend too much time on Bitcoin because it's all the same price action that we've been looking at for quite some time now. But we'll take a look at the altcoins as well. Might have a little bit of a shorter stream. Hashtag the Frankie Candles meme. If you know, you know. But I want to talk to you guys about some of these higher time frames and what could potentially pull us to the downside. We'll go over the general situation and my overall bias on Bitcoin, where I think it's headed next. And then we'll jump into the altcoins and see if there's any altcoins moving out there that'll give us a little bit more exciting price action than Bitcoin. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, said BTC equals boring the crew. Absolutely, guys. This sideways range is absolutely ridiculous right now. But we're going to try to break it down for you guys. And we will. Hey, shout out to Crypto Max. He says, what's up, Chooch? What's going on, brother? But yeah, don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some extra chances to win some free crypto. If we get 550 likes on tonight's live stream, I will bless the Mafia with a bunch of free Frankie Candles hats. Maybe we'll just call them today if we hit that like goal. But I don't even know if we'll get enough people in here today to hit that like goal. Bitcoin, please do something for the love of God. But anyway, smash up that like button if you have not already. And let's shout out the Mafia real quick before we jump into the price action, guys. Shout out to Mike, says, light the candle under BTC, guys. Yeah, I might have to go talk to... we haven't called my cousin Satoshi in a while. Maybe we'll call him at the end of the stream and ask him if he can move Bitcoin. Last time we asked him to dump Bitcoin, he did it. So we'll have to call him up and ask him. But shout out to Texas Twister. What is going on? Frankie Candles Mafia. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. We got Jacko24 tuning in. We got Crypto Maxi. What is going on? Greg, as always, good to see you, brother. We got Rob the Crypto Snob. Shout out to all the mods in the chat, guys. Show them some love right now. If you're bored with Bitcoin, spend some time showing the mods some love. We got well, lost my place here. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. What is going on, brother? Like I always say, we're going to turn you into smart Bitcoin or at least smart trader. Shout out to you, brother. We got Johnny in the chat, says, what's good? What's up, Johnny Vega? Good to see you, brother. And then we got Tesla Man. What is going on? Spamming those inhaler emojis. Shout out to you, brother. I don't know what that is. But anyway, shout out to John, said BTC, almost a stable coin. Yeah, guys, this is absolutely brutal. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and watch paint dry. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys, and Bitcoin is still just in the same spot that we have been in for quite some time. And shout out to Deejberry. What is going on, bro? Shout out to you. Thank you for that super chat. And he says, will you do some TA on Spell? Yeah, we could try to take a look at Spell. I will take this time to remind everybody that your super chat does not guarantee that we look at your altcoin. Obviously, they're easier to see, but I can't take all the requests just because we will literally be here forever. And especially with the way the market is, a lot of these altcoins are going to look very similar. But yeah, I'll try to take a look at Spell there, Deejberry. Obviously, always try to see all the altcoins that people super chat. I just want to let everybody know there's no guarantees. It would be impossible. But shout out to Deejberry. Thank you for the super chat. We will definitely try to check that out for you. But let's go ahead and jump on in here. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Max. He said, if y'all want to know what Bitcoin's about to do, just go watch any of the last streams in the 3 months, in the past 3 months. Yeah, absolutely. It's all the same stuff here, guys, to be quite honest with you. But obviously, for anybody who might be new to the stream or might just be new to Bitcoin, maybe this is your first time ever hearing of Bitcoin ever in your life, I am here to break this down and show you how you can squeeze every last dollar out of this thing, whether the price goes up or down. You guys know this is the focus of this channel. As we take a look here, guys, we are still within our macro volume profile. And, I'm going to start here on the higher time frames, right? And we'll just look at this. Well, I'll look at it within the daily because it's just a little bit more clear to see. But I do just want to point out, guys, as long as we remain inside of this volume profile, it is going to be expected that the value area highs are going to continue to act as resistance, potentially pushing us down for a full rotation of the range. And then if we did get a move back down here to the value area low, this would be an area where I would be willing to look for longs, as we typically do respect the highs of the volume profile and the lows of the volume profile until we finally get a breakout here. And I do want to talk a little bit about the structure here and why we may be able to anticipate a move up. But to be honest, guys, right now, my general bias in the medium term, in the long term, I'm definitely still bullish. I was talking to the premium Discord earlier today, talking about, if we are and here's the thing, right? When we zoom out here, guys, right? Even this move down here, right? Like, this was not that drastic. We are still 100%. In my opinion, my long-term bias is still bullish, right? Now, this doesn't mean we can't pull back, but as you guys can see, we are continuously just trending to the upside here. And even on this little dump to the downside that we saw recently, even if this was able to bring us down to that 51, 52K level that we were watching for a potential key support level, even if we came down to that 51 to 52K level, I still would have been bullish, right? And I still would have been looking for longs down there for an eventual continuation to the upside. So I just want to start the show and just letting you guys know that overall, with where we are in the cycle and what we're seeing here, there is definitely, my bias is definitely bullish in the long term, right? But that does not mean that we can't get this little pushback back down to the value area low of this local range, right? So I don't want anyone getting it twisted. Before I look at any bearish cases, I just want to say that the overall long-term bias is definitely bullish, right? So even if we're potentially looking for a move down here to 60K, that sounds like a lot, right? Or 61K. That sounds like a horrible, level to go down to. But please understand, in the grand context of things, how small that actual move is, right? The other day, we had this little drop down here. Shout out to the premium Discord. This was a short setup in the premium Discord. So shout out to everybody in there, or the kitchen as I like to call it. If you guys are interested in that, I want to use my little I don't know. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry about that. But I want to use my little lower third here. If you guys are interested in joining the premium Discord where you get my spoon-fed trade setups with confirmations, if the confirmations are predictable, and daily TA posts, as well as exclusive premium live streams. They're very, very educational. I like to teach more in-depth on what I look for to actually enter trades there. You guys can check out FrankieCandlesTrading.com, where we also have our merch, all of our deals for any of our exchanges. If you guys are looking for places to trade, you can check that. Links in the description, or head over to FrankieCandles.com. You'll see everything there. All of our exchange deals, all that stuff typically gets you a fire deal. But simply put here, guys, we got this little move to the downside, and everybody was like super, super bearish, when in the grand scheme of things, guys, this is a tiny, tiny move on Bitcoin. Now, this is a significant move that we can make money on, but this is not necessarily something that I'm worried about, like, oh my God, we're going to zero, right? Because again, zoom out. Like, even if you zoom out to this larger range, it's still a very small move. Now zoom out in the grand scheme of things. We're literally freaking out over these like little pixels up here, right? Like, absolutely insane. So just to start things off, my long-term bias is bullish. And if we are going to get like some kind of dramatic pull to the downside, guys, I do think there is going to have to be some kind of news catalyst. Now, is there a lot of geopolitical things going on right now that could potentially cause a huge black swan event? Yes, I do think that is possible. If you know, you know. I don't want to talk about it here. I don't want to get banned on YouTube or put up any red flags here. But you guys do know, if we are going to get a big move to the downside and we are not going to, just continue up here, I do think there would have to be some kind of black swan to get a significant dump here. But other than that, with where we are in the cycle, right? Because obviously, you could have been thinking that same thing in 2019 when you rallied up to about $14,000. Everyone's thinking the bull market's back on. Oh my God, which technically it was. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get this gigantic dump to the downside based off of what was happening in March of 2020. We all know what was going on over there. So, unless we see something like that, I don't really see a reason to get a huge move down. And if we do, I do think there's going to have to be a black swan involved, right? Which again, is that somewhat likely right now? It's up for debate, right? So, but with that being said, other than that, just sitting within our volume profile here, and let me go ahead and move this POC as it moves as you change timeframes. But, as we hold support above this point of control, we also have another point of control. I guess it has moved. Yeah, this major point of control. On the daily, it moves up a bit. But this is the point of control that I'm really looking at. As long as we remain above this level, guys, we can still potentially come back up to attack this value area high. But for the most part, I am neutral in the medium term. We could go up, we could go down. Long-term bullish, medium-term neutral, right? And I'm going to go over those bearish signals in a minute. But, if we can't get back up, or if we can't hold this POC as support. Obviously, we are going to be looking for a full rotation of the range down to the value area low, where we also have a golden pocket 786 retracement level, which is going to be the next major target, right? Now, if we are able to hold support above this POC, we could easily see a breakout here and a push up to our next resistance levels, which we do also still have a lot of resistance above, guys. Obviously, that all-time high at about $74,000 is going to be a big level to get above, but I'll talk about that in just a minute. But for the most part, guys, we are simply just ranging around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off this longer-term range because, again, it's like really not really much to talk about here. But I will pull up more of the local price action. So let me go ahead and pull up some of these other levels, pull up some dailies. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in here on the local price action. So as we look here, obviously, we do have a little bit, I mean, I don't want to say obviously, I guess it's not obvious, but we do have this range right here, and this is kind of the local range that I'm looking at, as, again, it's taking a very long time to get these bigger moves within our larger range, right? So this range, let me go ahead and mark this out with a neutral box here, a little gray box, bada boom, bada bing, and then we'll grab it, value area high, POC, which is right on your daily there. And then you have your value area low. Bada boom, delete that, right? So this is our local range. This is kind of what I'm looking at, guys. As we have broken down, again, shout out to the premium Discord, as we've broken down back into this local volume profile, as long as we remain below this value area high, we are going to potentially look for a rotation to the bottom of the local range, which has the value area low sitting at about 67, 253, which is... again, not really like that crazy of a move, but this is really the price action that I'm looking at, or the major range that I'm looking at. So these key levels I would definitely have marked on your chart, especially this naked daily horizontal sitting here at 65,221. Going to be a very key level to look at. But locally, these are the levels, guys. Other than that, there's really not much to look at here. We take a look at the daily. What is the money flow doing? Money flow is absolutely chopped up. There's no way to really figure out a direction here when things are so choppy, right? We have higher lows being created, which is nice as it's trending to the upside. But again, it is just very, very choppy right now. So really hard to give you a directional bias here at looking at money flow on the daily. So really what I'm doing is just trying to day play these local ranges, and then I'm waiting for the next big move, right? Now, I will say I am still long. Let me go ahead and drop this and call this local. Bada boom. Let me hide that, and then I will go ahead and pull up the larger range. I'll pull that up here as well. Bada boom. So I am still long from the value area low, right? And again, if we're looking at the higher time frames, and I am definitely a bit more neutral here in the medium term, meaning I do think it is somewhat, this is decision time, right? I do think that we are likely to get some kind of a big move at some point this week, right? Whether it's a break to the upside or a break to the downside, I am very neutral on that, right? I am holding my long position from down here at the value area low. And remember what we took a look at, looking at Lux Algo. Shout out to Lux Algo, one of our channel sponsors. But, we have been looking at Lux Algo, showing that we had let me delete the smart trails. And you guys can see we had this bullish change of character. This is why I was willing to hold my long position for higher prices, right? Because once you get that bullish change of character, you are you are assuming to yourself that you are much better off longing higher lows and looking for the continuation to the upside, because the market structure is shifting bullish, right? Now, in this kind of, from this perspective, we would pretty much be expecting another bullish break of structure, right? You have the change of character, higher high, higher low, higher high with a break of structure, and now we're just looking for another higher high. So statistically speaking, looking at this change of character on the daily, you could still be anticipating higher prices. But again, when you start to bring up the volume profiles, you could see that we're stuck under key resistance. Also, really the thing that's making this all very hard is the fact that money flow is extremely chopped up here. Typically, when we're at a key level of resistance like we were up here, you have very clear indications on your money flow on where things are likely to go next. But that's just simply not the case right now. Things are extremely chopped up. The indicators are unclear. And that's why when that happens, I typically do tend to focus a bit more on things like market structure as well as key levels. So based off of this, the reason I am still holding my long position, I do want to bring that up. Let me pull it up here real quick. That is a short. I'll talk about this as well. This is the same short that I brought up last week. But I am still holding my long from that value area low, up 120%, $3,400 unrealized. Still have profits locked in, $1,325 of locked in profit. But I am still holding this. And one of the reasons I am continuing to hold this position, guys, has to do with the market structure, right? I am profits locked in. Actually, I have my stop loss off right now, but I will turn it back on. But at this point, this is profits locked in, stop loss at entry, right? So if price does get a surprise move to the downside, which again is very hard to predict right now, if we do get that and we wind up getting a big move down, I am happy to get stopped out of this trade in profit, right? So if I wind up losing that trade, I will still make some money, which is pretty nice. So I feel pretty comfortable with that. And again, the reason I'm not just closing all of this and taking that money off the table is, well, number one, because of the bullish market structure, and you would be anticipating another break to the upside at some point. Just based off that, it would be the higher statistically probable situation to or higher probable outcome. And it's also on the that's really why I'm still holding this position, right? I would like to say that this is also backed up by money flow, etc., but it really isn't, right? Money flow is very choppy right now. So with that being said, that is why I'm still holding my long position. And to be honest with you guys, if we start losing this POC at 67,848, I may just manually stop myself out. That way, I'm not just taking the $1,300. I'll take a little bit more than that. But right now, if I was sleeping and we got some mega nuke overnight, I'll get stopped out in profit. Guaranteed winning trade. Very, very safe and worry-free way to trade when you manage your risk like that. However, when we take a look at some of these higher time frames, guys, I do want to bring this up, right? Because if we wind up, right? If we do wind up coming down, there are some things pointing to this. And obviously, these higher time frames do take some time to play out, right? These are not things where we see a red dot pop up on the 2-day and then we get an instant move to the downside, right? These signals take time to play out. But as you guys can see here, I'm just going to show Market Cipher really quickly. What we have here on the 2-day is a red dot printing with money flow kind of continuously coming out here. It is trending to the downside. I wouldn't call this super bearish money flow by any means. You're pretty thick in the green here, which is nice. But you do have that red dot printing on the daily, which often is a sign of more downside. And then you start looking at the 3-day. VWAP about to cross that 0 line, looking for a red dot on here as well. And then you go up to the 4-day. I think you guys get the point. All these higher time frames have the VWAP starting to come back down towards that 0 line. And if we do wind up getting all these red dots on the higher time frames, it would make a lot of sense. Like if we were able to get a move all the way back down to this value area low, I will say, right, like these higher time frame red dots may be the things that do it, right? This last 5-day red dot that we got here was the top of this move. Right? And then we got stuck inside the value area, and where'd we go? Right down to that value area low as you would expect, right? And then what happens when you get the green dot? Simply put, that was the bottom, and that's when you get the rotation back up to the value area high. So if we see these red dots start to print, it definitely has the power to potentially bring us back down to that value area low, which at that point, this is going to kind of, and I'll be honest, right? Like, even if we got that big move, guys, I know a lot of people are going to be freaking out. Crypto Twitter's going to be like, oh my God, what's happening? Oh my God. But I am simply going to be sitting here and being like, okay, now we're at support, right? We very well could be stuck in this range, which leads me to my next point. And that is, where's the line in the sand for the bigger break to the downside? And I bet you, nobody in this live stream knows. Nobody here knows where that level is. I'm just kidding. You all should know where it is because it's the same level we've been looking at forever. And it is simply going to be, well, now that we have this daily level down here at 58,232, there's a lot of levels down here. But for me, guys, the line in the sand, I guess technically this would be, all right, I'll pull it to this high. The line in the sand for me is really the 786 at 59,765, right? Because what happened here, right? And this is pulled from the actual the swing low here from the 1st of May all the way up to the swing high here at on May 21st, right? So number one, this is definitely the line in the sand for me. And to be honest, maybe it's the daily, because as we see this Fibonacci retracement coming up, if we pull back down into the golden pocket or the 786, these are long zones for me, right? Because if we're going to continue with the bullish market structure, putting in a higher low to continue back up to higher prices, where are those higher lows likely to come in? And if we're going to get a big pullback here, or a significant pullback within the context of this range, the golden pocket 786 are going to be big levels to look at. And I mean, more specifically, that 786 value area low confluence does look pretty saucy in my opinion. So that, I am still potentially looking for longs down here at these zones. But if we break below the value area low, this is also a place where we typically look for longs, right? Every time we deviate from the low, oftentimes that's where we're looking for longs. It's part of the reason why I was long from here. We deviated below the range. We found our bullish confirmations. I took the trade, and that's the trade right now that's up about $4,000 or almost $5,000, right? But if we break down below here, how do you know if it's a deviation or if you're just going to go down to lower prices? And in my opinion, the 786 breaking down below this would be the first warning sign of potential much lower prices incoming, because that would potentially this would potentially invalidate the fact that we could put in a higher low here and continue to the upside. And once you break below this, sure, the daily could be a last level, right? Like a last resort level. However, it depends on what happens when we come down there, right? If we do wind up getting the move, right, and it's a big panic wick, I'd be much more comfortable looking for this 786 to get slipped for a minute before coming back up and reclaiming it. But if we kind of just grind down, and it's just like a slow grind, and we start playing with the daily, like that would be more bearish in my opinion. But if we got some kind of liquidation wick where we slip that 786, and I see on XO charts, looking at the order flow, that there's a lot of liquidations coming in here, and I see that the longs are getting wrecked, I may be more inclined to take a long here. But then, once you start losing these lows, really, that's where very likely we're going to break into this low volume gap created over here. If I pull up the VPVR, we can visualize that with our eyeballs. Right there, you do have that low volume gap. So once you lose these lows, very likely that you're going to get a quick move all the way down to this next weekly level, sitting in that 51 to 52K zone. And again, this is the same analysis that we've been looking at for, I can't tell you how long, right? This is just all we have. But that's my general plan on Bitcoin right now, to be quite honest with you guys. Just kind of letting things play out. And not only letting things play out, but letting you guys know exactly where I'm willing to kind of cut my shorts, cut my longs short, and just take my money and run and let price play out. But I'm really just sitting on my hands and waiting for more key levels to get hit here, guys. And again, this golden pocket and this 786 are long zones in my opinion, and then pulling this full Fibonacci retracement does wind up giving us this macro 786, which is going to be kind of the line in the sand. I would consider this whole zone the line in the sand, because remember, you have that volume gap just below you, potentially bringing you down to this weekly level at 51K, which we also have other levels down here. I believe there's a monthly level down there. Tons of confluence down here, but it's pretty far away, so I'm not going to get too far into it. But that's my general thought process, guys. Simply stuck in the range here. Can we break out? Can we break down? Those higher time frame red dots are definitely more bearish than bullish in my own personal opinion. So keep that in mind. But I do think we are going to see some kind of a move this week, hopefully breaking us out of this range, or at the very least, just break us deeper into this range so we can get a little bit of price action here. And I am short on Ethereum. Like I said, in the premium Discord, we did have a short setup here. For the short down, back down to these levels. However, I was not sitting at my desk. I missed my entry on that trade. However, I was short on ETH, which is up about $700. This is almost in the same spot. So, it's up a little bit more than it was on Friday's live stream, but I am still holding this position, right? So I am hedged on both ends of the market here. I don't have profits locked in on that just yet. This is a much smaller trade for me. It's higher leverage, low capital. So I am holding that and have not taken profits yet. But I am hedged long and short no matter what happens. But this is just an absolute brutal waiting game. So those are the real key levels that I'm looking at. But with all that being said, guys, that's all I got on Bitcoin. Shout out to Indiana Candles. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. What is going on? Let's see. Bada boom. Audio is perfect. Shout out to Simano. Shout out to you, bro. Hopefully I said your name right. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and move on to some of those altcoins, guys. If you want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Spam them in the chat. Let Rob the Crypto Snob know what altcoins you want to see. I'm already going to do Spell, Rob, and then let's do like 3 requests. And then obviously we will take a look at Ethereum. So do not worry. Shout out to Texas Twister, said pick up the kitchen. Pick up the kitchen utensils at Frankie Candles. Shout out to Texas Twister. Let's see. Crypto Maxi said, is there anything we can do some TA on that's interesting? Crypto Maxi, yes. I sure hope so. But I'll be honest with you. In the premium live stream, things were all kind of looking a bit boring. But we will go ahead and check. Tony D says check super chats. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, bro. He says, to anyone on the fence about BTC 24, just want to say that the passes just wanted to say that pass fees are increasing on Friday. Check the pinned comment for our link and our discount. Yeah, shout out to Tony D, guys. If you guys are going to Bitcoin Nashville, we do have some discounts for you guys. Tony D knows all the details. So, yeah, go check the pinned comment. I'm sure all the details are there. So, yeah, go check that out. We will be at Bitcoin Nashville, I believe. The only reason I don't say 100% It's because we don't have anything booked yet, but we do plan on being there. So if you guys are out there and you see us, please, for the love of God, come up and say hi to us. It's our favorite part of the job is hanging out with you guys and getting to put some faces to these account names. It's really funny. It's like every time we meet people, they'll be like, "Hey man, what's up? Like I love your show. Like I'm always I'm in the mafia, right?" And then I'm like, "Let me try to guess who you are." They are never who you think they are. I have very different pictures of what you guys look like in my head than what you guys wind up being like in real life. But let's go ahead and see. Shout out to Crypto Max. He said, Tennessee is my neighbor state. NC here. Shout out to Crypto Maxi. Let's go, bro. I hope to see you there. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and real quick jump into Ethereum while Rob the Crypto Stomp is counting up the votes on the altcoins. And let's go ahead and jump in on Ethereum. And guys, for the most part, like I said, what I'm gonna do here is I'll go ahead and let me see if I can. Let me just unhide some of this. Yeah, let me unhide some of this TA. Okay, so let me hide this, put it in a folder, bada boom, bada bing, and then we'll take a look at this upper value area. So right now, guys, very simply put, on Ethereum, we are simply playing around with this macro value area low, right? Last time we broke above here, we went right up to the POC, got that beautiful rejection from the POC and a quick move down, lost the range, came back down even lower, right? But now we are back up, approaching this value area low, which is a key level of resistance, obviously. And obviously we have oh, come on, delete. There we go. Obviously, we have lost this level to the downside with some bearish consolidation here. But this is the key level, right? This value area low, as long as you're able to get back above this, that is your doorway to higher prices. Because obviously, once you get above that value area low, this is where you are going to be looking for price to hold and then get a full rotation up to the POC and potentially the value area high. However, we are breaking down locally. So I want to kind of explain how I'm handling the short position that I'm in right now. So let me pull up that local profile. Actually going to go ahead and hide this upper value area. Excuse me. Just to make it a little bit more simple. So here we are, right? We have our value area here. And simply put, for this trade, guys, I am willing to hold this. Now, why am I willing to hold this, right? It comes back to those changes of character, right? We'll pull up LuxAlgo real quick. Shout out to LuxAlgo. By the way, if you guys want to sign up for LuxAlgo, you guys can check the link in the description down below. We'll save some money. They have many different subscription models. You can, I think you can do like a monthly subscription, an annual subscription. You can pick which indicators you want. It's absolutely amazing. But you guys can check them out in the link in the description. But as you guys can see here, we do have a bearish change of character here on the daily. Now, what does this mean? This means that me, as a trader, am going to be much more interested in not only shorting lower highs if I wasn't already in a short position, but this is going to make any bounce to the upside a little bit more likely to be a lackluster bounce to put in a lower high and continue a movement to the downside, right? And breaking structure to the downside. This is very similar to why we were looking for a continuation up on Bitcoin here. We had the bullish change of character. Sure, you got to pull back. But you just put in higher lows and continue to the upside. And very similarly, Ethereum's in a similar situation, but we have a bearish change of character. So any bounce is going to be considered a lackluster bounce to the upside to put that lower high in and continue to the downside. So let's unhide that TA real quick. So if we look here, right, obviously, what are our key levels of resistance going to be, right? Well, number one, before I show that, number one, key level of resistance. Pull your volume profile before the breakdown, right? Let's come to a lower time frame here real quick. And actually, the profile that I am actually looking at is this profile, right? So very simply put, let me just resize this. Bada boom, bada bing. So if we do get a push to the upside, which we may be able to get here, if we get that push to the upside, we have to be careful of rejections on some pretty important key levels of resistance, right? So right now on Ethereum, one of your biggest key levels of resistance is going to be the value area low, right? Because if we're going to accept ourselves outside of this range, that is going to be oftentimes a place where price will come up and bearishly retest before we get the continuation and the break of structure, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Bearish change of character, letting us know that we are probably changing from a bullish market to a bearish market. Once you break that, you're looking for lackluster pushes to the upside to put in a lower high and continue your downtrend. Very simply put. It's a very simple, this is not like based off the indicator. This is just simply market structure, right? So the fact that we have this value area low here on top of some confluence with some key fib levels, right? Beautiful golden pocket confluence here. So you could even maybe extend this down a little bit. So you do have some confluence here, which could give you a beautiful place to look for a short. Now, this is not the only place to look for a short. I'm not going to give every single level that we should be looking at for shorts. I share more of that in the premium Discord. But this is definitely going to be the first major level, because if you're looking for a lower high to come in, that lower high we all know is likely to come in either at that golden pocket or that 786 retracement. This is just simply put, in any case, a high likelihood area to put in a lower high and continue the downtrend, right? Especially if you have that bearish change of character. That's why we're looking for that rather than looking for a long position and targeting massively higher prices. Doesn't mean that you cannot long down here, right? But it just means if you long, you have to take that long with the context, understanding the context that if you come up here, this is going to be super key resistance because the market structure may be turning bearish, and it may be more probable to put that lower high in. So you could still long down here, but you just have to understand the context of the market. And oftentimes we can use money flow to kind of confirm this, because typically, if you're not using market structure, oftentimes what I'll do to kind of see if I should be favoring the shorts or favoring the longs, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll look at money flow, right? If money flow crosses into the red, which it technically did right here, but now it's kind of just wiggling around. If we could come back into the red here, when that money flow comes into the red, you're expecting a very similar outcome, right? You're expecting, because money flow indicates the longer-term trend. So if money flow is crossing into the red here, which it kind of is, it's very unclear. Like I said, very choppy market. Indicators are chopped up. But if we get that money flow crossover clearly into the red, that would make us think that remember, money flow indicates the longer-term trend. Not the ups and downs, not this, not that, not this, right? But the overall trend. So if that money flow comes into the red on the 4-hour, we could anticipate a potential continuation of the trend to the downside. But in order to continue a downtrend, you have to have retracements to the upside. But if you understand this, you'll know when to hold your longs for higher or when you should just be scalping that long and potentially looking to flip short, right? And in this case, based off the market structure, and if money flow crosses into the red here, we can look for the push up to look for a short entry to short that lower high and come to the downside. And like I said, there are a couple other levels in here, but I'm not going to share them all. It wouldn't be fair to the people in the premium, but that is definitely going to be a key level to look at. And if you can get confirmations here, you could see that lower high come in at that golden pocket or that 786. So that's my plan. Right? So if we do see that move to the downside, and this is why I'm looking to hold this long position, right? This is why I didn't just close my short position on Ethereum on Friday, right? It's because we had that bearish change of character. It's because things could look like they can continue lower, so I am willing to hold that position. So there you go. That's what I'm looking at locally on Ethereum. I'm not going to spend too much time on the higher time frames just because it's all the same, so we'll just take a look at the local stuff now. Probably going to do that moving forward until we get another big move, guys. I'm probably going to stick to the lower time frame, not the lower time frames, but more like the 4-hour and down, rather than taking a look at like the weekly and just being like, yep, still up here for a month, more months, like 3 months, right? Just like still sitting up here. Very, very boring. Or not 3 months. This is like a month. But probably going to spend a little bit more time on the lower time frames. But there you go. Those are the key levels I'm looking at. And there you go. Shout out to Ethereum, or Rithrium, as your grandmother might call it. All right, let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Said, pin my comment. Shout out to Rob. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for that. And let's go ahead and shout out to Valerie. What is going on, Valerie? Valerie, you won a hat. You won a hat, didn't you? Didn't you win a giveaway on Friday? Shout out to you. If you won a hat, let me know what color you got. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Max. He said, wow, that video is 2 years old. It's got to be a classic by now. Shout out to Crypto Max. I don't know what video you're talking about. Okay. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Kadena. Let's see. Shout out to K Diggity. What is going on, brother? Shout out to you, bro. Let's see. He says, I was Googling him. I don't think so. Maybe I saw him do something familiar. Shout out to K Diggity. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Oh, you won a bag of ADA, but I'm waiting to receive it. Shout out to Valerie. Shout out to you. I guess you can only get one color of Cardano, but shout out to you, Valerie. Okay, let's go ahead and shout out to Oh, God. I'm going to call you Baker because I don't want to try that first name. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for that super chat. He said, can we take a look at Gala? I will try to squeeze Gala in for you. Thank you for that super chat, brother. Yeah, we could try to take a look at Gala. No problemo. Let's go ahead and see where can I copy your market cipher settings. Shout out to Sarvdeep. Shout out to you. I use all the default settings on Market Cipher other than colors, and I just take some stuff off, right? So what I could do here, these are all the same. I didn't change any of these. All the calculations are totally default. All I did was change the colors, and I removed some stuff. So you can go ahead and pause this and screenshot that if you want your Market Cipher to look just like mine. But yeah, there you go. I think I do have a video showing all my custom settings. But again, if you're worried about calculations, they're all default. It's only cosmetic changes on that. But let's go ahead and jump on in here to our first altcoin, which is going to be Solana. Let's come on over here, not to Forex. There we go, Coinbase, and there we are, right? And I will be clear. I mean, I will be pretty quick on Solana, guys, just because. Yo, shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, bro. You think things before I even think of them. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob, dropping those videos in there. Thank you, Rob. So Sarvdeep, if you want to check out that video, that is likely going to help you out with what you're looking for. Okay, and let's see. Shout out to Big Daddy, said, this is it. End is near. They're gonna rug us. Shout out to you, brother. I hope that's not the case. Shout out to you, brother. But if these geopolitical things don't calm down, it might be the rug of a century. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Like I said, guys, not much different here on Solana, at least on the higher time frames, or at least on the daily here. I mean, not even really on the higher time frames, but very simply put, it's just a bore fest over here. Still trying to work ourselves out. We flipped above that POC, which was our doorway to higher prices. We got the move up that we were looking for right into the POC of this local range, and now we are just kind of chopping around. This is absolutely untradeable, in my opinion. Not that you can't go long here and make a little money, but this is just not something I'm interested in trading right now. I would rather wait because in the grand scheme of this volume profile, we are looking at that value area high at $205 as our key level of resistance and that value area low at $133 as our key level of support. But until we got our way up to this value area high, I would not be expecting or interested in any gigantic or important or significant positions, right, as far as shorts go. If you wanted to chop up the smaller time frames and look to scalp, that's a different story. But in the grand scheme of things, guys, we flipped above the POC. The next likely place for price to go is going to be that value area high. But these value area highs don't typically come in very smoothly or quickly or nicely. Typically, it looks something like this, where you flip the POC, you got to move up, then you come down, and then you might come back up and then back down and then it wiggles around. But eventually, you do come up to that value area high. And if we do come down, you have very clear support here. So I'm not interested in trading this right now. But these are the key levels of support. I'm not interested in anything until we come up to the high or down to the low here on Solana. And then, you know, looking at your indicators, as you guys can see here, money flow kind of chopped up here. VWAP also not very clear. It's not rounded. We have a very flat VWAP here. This could get rejected. Nothing to take away from here. Nothing really of significance. Yeah, 2-day red dot confirmed. I'm sorry, weekly red dot confirmed. Take a look at the 2-day red dot confirmed. 3-day red dot confirmed. 4-day red dot confirmed. 5, 6, or your 6-day red dot is printing. So yeah, maybe we get another move to the downside here. But as long as we remain within this range, I'm not freaking out. Right? Because if we just start dumping here, it's like, oh my God, where are we going to stop? Well, you know, you have very, very important support right here. And if we pull our Fibonacci, 786 is on perfect confluence with that value area low, and the golden pocket's very close to the POC. So even if we saw something like this, where we pulled back here, that could be where you see the move back up to the value area high. Tends to be very ugly, but it does very often wind up coming up to those key levels. Other than that, very hard to make like a decisive call on this just with how choppy things are. So those are the levels I would be watching, just waiting for Solana to work its way up to the high or the low of this range. All right, let's see. Bada boom, shout out to Crypto Maxi. Says, what the heck is this? And he points to some kind of weird L-shaped emoji. Crypto Maxi, I don't know what that is. I don't know why it's an emoji. I don't know what it means. I don't even know what that's a picture of. I've never seen one of those. Have you? Shout out to Crypto Maxi. All right, let's see. Darren says, always got to go lower to go higher. Absolutely, Darren. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Okay, yeah, shout out to Deejberry. Let's go ahead and jump into Spell for Deejberry. Hopefully, I'm not butchering your name too much. But let's take a look here. What do we have here? This is super old analysis, so I can't even tell you if this was. I can't tell you if these levels were respected or if we drew these in hindsight. I don't know. But what I do know is that, let me see here. What I do know is that these Fibonacci extensions are definitely going to be our next targets to the upside. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to select this. And then, okay, all right. I'm getting bullied by TradingView right now, guys. This is crazy. Yo, shout out to the Mafia. Anybody who has seen me ever have trouble with my chair sinking down, guys, I'm not going to lie. Frankie Candles lost it a little bit today. I lost it a little bit today. I'm a happy guy, right? I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. But I'll tell you what, when you have a chair absolutely tormenting you, like I can't buy a new one, but if your chair tormented you and just sunk you down, it's always trying to bring me down. And it's always like automatically drags me down, and it just sinks, and I can't, and sometimes it's fine. Today, I could not get this thing to stay up. I threw the chair. I'm sorry. I threw the chair. You guys have seen me body slam the chair. You guys have seen me fight my chair before. I just picked this thing up and slammed it on the floor. I had to do it. I had to teach it a lesson. And you know what? We're not sinking anymore. So it worked. Shout out to you guys. This is going to be I almost don't want to get rid of it. I feel like it's like part of the show. So don't look at me like that. Anyway, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it live here, guys. I don't want to shout out to Frankie Candle's chair. The chair is always messing with Frankie. John Pucci. Absolutely, bro. This thing just tries to bully me, and then I got to be mean. I don't want to be mean. Yo, shout out to Golden. Golden said, I basically bought you 100 chairs. Golden, you've donated way more than 100 chairs worth of memberships. That is for sure. Shout out to Golden. It's like I have other chairs here that I can use. I just don't switch it. I don't know. It just feels like bad luck. Shout out to Tony T said buy and get a new chair. No, I like it, guys. We fight, but it's okay. It's like a love-hate relationship. It's not a big deal. But anyway, you guys are funny. No, I'm kidding, guys. I could buy a new chair. Do not super chat for a chair. I could buy a new chair. You guys are funny. But anyway, let's take a look here at Spell. Anyway, let's take a look here. And I'll just bring this purple box up here. Bada-boo. Whoops. Go ahead and mark that out. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so the next two price targets to the upside, guys, if we get a big move up, which I don't think there's really any reason to call for that right this second, but I do just want to point this out because this was analysis that we did in the past. These two Fibonacci extension zones, I'll just show the levels. I'm not going to say this So less than a penny, but it's 28,220 to 25,109. Is going to be the first next major zone of resistance, right? Next major target would be up here, which sits between about 43,898 and 38,409. Those are the two major zones to the upside. Now, locally, right now, I'll be honest with you guys. I will be honest with you guys. I'm going to hide this fib just to clean things up. What am I doing? Bada boom. I will be honest. We did SFP this wick right up here, and couldn't hold the value area low. I'll be honest with you guys. We are now potentially getting accepted back into this lower range, which would not be the best look, right? Because now what happens? Now we have this value area high above us, right? And if we get stuck underneath this level, probably going to be a much more likely drop to the downside, potentially targeting that POC. Now, this is a pretty macro POC. I don't know, if that would be my first zone, right? Obviously, there's going to be some intermediary levels. If you pulled some local retracements, you guys can see right now we're hitting whoops. Right now, yeah, we're about to toy with that 786. Let's go pull it all the way to the low right here. Yeah, you got the 786 down here, but for the most part, if you can't get back above that value area high, the next logical place for price to go is going to be that POC, but it's very far away, right? It's not going to be one of those POCs that gets hit quickly. Probably going to take some time to grind down there if we do get that, but definitely not the best look to be stuck back in this range, right? You really wanted to hold this as support for a bigger move up. And then what happened back here, right? What happened back here? We lost the value area high and made a quick move. Actually, didn't hit the POC, but we made a quick move down towards that POC. So as long as you're below that value area high, it's gonna be a little bit more bearish, in my opinion. Let's check the higher time frames real quick. Not a ton of information on the weekly. Red dot about to print on the weekly. Money flow actually doesn't look horrible on the weekly, but that red dot does not look great. Money flow crossover into the green on the 6-day. 5-day red dot printing. 4-day red dot printing. 3-day red dot printing. Yeah. So, yeah, the higher time frames do look like it may want to cool off just a little bit more. But your biggest goal here, or your biggest task here on Spell right now would be to get back above that value area high at 11,194. Other than that, basically just like everything else. Yeah, money flow's choppy. Everything is very, very unclear. But those are the key levels that I would be looking at. I don't know where this I don't know where that volume profile went, but there you go, right? Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Shout out to Golden for getting that Frankie Candles membership. Let's go. Shout out to you, brother. Now I can get a new chair. Shout out to Golden. Let's see. And shout out to Caesar for getting that membership. Let's go. Drop that golden emoji in the chat. Start that golden waterfall for our boy Golden. It's already coming. I don't even have to say it anymore, Golden. They already shoot it in there. All right, let's see. Let's jump into our next altcoin, which is we looked at Solana, we looked at ETH, and we looked at Spell. Let's go ahead and take a look at Link. Bada boom. And here we are. Where was Link last time we talked about it? Because I look at this stuff 40 times a day, every day. So let's see. Let's take a look at the daily. I mean, yeah, I guess on Friday we were sitting right down here on that value area high, which is obviously our key level of support. This is decision time, right? If we get sucked back down below this, if we break this value area high to the downside, guys, and we cannot get back above, I would really be looking at these next two key zones of support, which, to be honest with you, we've been looking at for quite some time, right? But price takes a long time to move. This fib is pulled, actually pulled to here. This fib is pulled from the swing low right here all the way after that impulse to the swing high, and I will actually just tick that up a tiny bit. So zone number one, I'd be looking at that golden pocket, and then that 786 does have nice confluence at the value area low. But simply put, guys, you have your upper value area, right? You have your macro upper value area here, and then you have this little local value area below. So if we want, doorway to higher prices is right here. It's been the same for, like, it feels like 2 years. But the door, which actually, technically, it's been the door. We've been looking at that as the doorway to higher prices for, creeping up on 220 days. So, yeah, this has been the doorway to higher prices. And every time we do get above it, we do get those nice moves up, right? Bounce off it, get a move up, get above it, get a little move up. But once we get above that level with decisive support, that is what can start your journey. Well, we already went to the MPOC, but we could start the journey up to our actual point of control of the range, getting closer to $26. But as of right now, we have lost that range, and we are kind of hanging on by a thread here. And so if we do break down, next key levels I'll look at is the golden pocket between 1527 and 1506. And then this is actually a little saucier of a level in my opinion because you have the confluence on the value area low of the range, which is sitting between 1423 and 1397. So those are going to be the next two zones I will be looking at. I know this is a little bit of a wide zone. Probably the way I would look at this is the golden pocket between 1527 and 1506. Because if we come up here and we bounce and get stuck under that value area high, and then once you lose that golden pocket, sure, you could look for the POC next, which is sitting here at 1463. But in, number one, like, why would I be more willing to wait for this value area low? Simply put, because once you reject the value area high, you're expecting the POC and value area low to come in. And once you lose that golden pocket, you're already expecting the 786 as well, right? So that's why I'm not looking at this as a wide zone rather than just the golden pocket. And then we can expect that POC to be somewhat of support, but you're still going to be anticipating that value area low. So bounce number one would be happening at that golden pocket, in my opinion. And then if you lose that golden pocket, I would much rather look for an actual long position down here at the value area low 786. And that is exactly what I'd be looking at on Chainlink. Now, with that being said, guys, we could take a look at some of these indicators. 5-day red dot printing. Oh, God, is that a blood diamond? Oh, God, how is that not a blood diamond? I don't know. But red dot printing on the 5-day, red dot printing, about to print on the 6-day. And there's the weekly blood diamond on Link. Oh, God, that is not what you want to see. That is not what you want to see. Last weekly blood diamond actually didn't end too badly. I mean, 24% dump. It's not, it's not good, but it's not, not that scary. But yeah, not often that you see these weekly blood diamonds pop up. If this confirms, guys, I will be watching this closely. If this weekly blood diamond confirms on Link, last one gave us a 23% dump. Not that it has to give us the same amount of a dump. 15% dump would bring us down to the value area low. Yeah, these are definitely the key support levels I'd be looking at. No reason to take a long, in my opinion, from here. Even if you come down to the lower time frames, you have some confirmed blood diamonds. No clear bullish divergences or money flow crossovers. It's just extremely choppy. This is untradeable, in my opinion. So I'd just be looking at the higher time frames. Pray for that weekly blood diamond. Definitely not what you want to see. But those are the key levels. And not only the key levels, guys, but the context that you need to be looking at to try to anticipate where price will go next. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Okay. Our next altcoin is going to be CAS, or CASPA, as some people like to say. Let's go ahead and check it. I don't want that one. Check the XC chart. Bada boom. And yeah, this doesn't look too different than the last time we looked at it either. This is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. Like, if you look at everything in like a longer context, right? We were looking at this as our next target to the upside. We came up, reacted, came back down. Or actually, hang on. Bear with me. Yeah, so can't make it up. So we came down, right? Bada boom. We came up to our next target, came back down, came back to test that target one more time, and we've just been kind of stuck here. Very uneventful. All these levels, I believe, all these levels are going to remain valid. Let's see. Yeah, this golden pocket, value area high confluence would be key if we did come down there, right? You break out of the value area. That makes the value area high your next level of support, but not only your next key level of support, but also the line in the sand to potentially give you indication that you're going to come down to that POC, which is also confluent with the 786. Very, very simple stuff here. Like, this TA has not changed at all. We just kind of came down, didn't hit the level, came back up, and we're just kind of going sideways. So yeah, key level number one, I'll give you guys the verbal levels. 1460 at 0.1463, and then from 0.4163 to 0.1411, and then your POC 786 is sitting 0.1311 all the way down to 0.1279. It's kind of hard to, like, I could say 13 and 12 cents, but I just like to be as specific as possible with levels when they're like this, just because, obviously, if I say 14 cents, it's just like, it's more nitty-gritty than that for this particular situation. So for me, I'm not interested in any scalp longs or anything on CASPA until we come down to this level, potentially. If I don't get the confirmations, I would much rather look for that 786. And the nice thing about coming down to the 786, guys, is that if we did come down to that 786 and we lost it, or when we do come down to that 786, very easy invalidation. Once you lose that POC 786, you're definitely going to be looking down to that value area low, just based off the theory of the volume profile. So that's what I'd be looking at on CASPA. Other than that, taking a look at the indicators, nothing to take away from the weekly, 5-day. I mean, yeah, same thing, right? The higher time frame or higher daily time frames are looking to print red dots. Your 2-day red dots confirmed, 3-day looking for the red dot, 4-day looking for the red dot, 5-day looking for the red dot, and then the 6-day and the weekly VWAPs are curving down, right? Typically not indicative of a massive move up, right? Typically you want to see the VWAPs cocked, about to flip over that zero line to print a green dot, but we literally have the opposite. We're about to print red dots. So money flow doesn't look horrible on the 3-day or the 4-day or the 5-day, right? The money flow is coming in the right direction, but definitely not the VWAPs. So I would expect some chop around here. I'm not interested in any positions until we get down to those next key levels that we just went over. And then targets to the upside obviously remain the same. So there you go. That is what we're looking for. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Max. He says value area low, value area low, value area low. Let's see. Big Daddy said, yup, going to zero, 100x short. Shout out to Big Daddy. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Crypto Max, he's like, I'm losing my mind. I need a move up or down. I don't care. Do something. Yes, I know, guys. This is a frustrating point in the market. Very, very boring. It's sit on your hands, especially for trades. It's a sit on your hands and wait situation. Now, obviously, we are hitting trades in the premium Discord. Caught that nice short on Bitcoin from the top here. I personally didn't take the trade. I took it on ETH. But the setup was in the Discord to take that short with specific confirmations. And that's the nice thing about being a trader, is there's kind of always something to do, right? Because we could trade the lower time frames. This little move of 5% can be a massive, massive, massive win. for a trader, especially leverage traders like we are. But other than these like little scalps and stuff, like even the scalps are choppy and sketchy. Ask Darren does things. He's also in the premium Discord posting setups. And he was saying the same thing. You know, it's just when you're in an environment that is so choppy like this, in my personal opinion, and guys, I say this from experience, right? I don't just say this because someone told me that choppy markets are hard to trade, right? Or it's not worth it. This is from experience, right? You don't want to force these trades that aren't there in a choppy market like this. It's honestly not worth it. Like for me, like the last decent sized trade that I took was the long down from here from the value area low, and then we got that move up pretty nicely. But then we just went sideways forever, right? So it's like, I'm not going to try to like chop up these trades until I get the setup. And we literally had to wait. We had other altcoin setups and stuff in the meantime. But after that big move up on Bitcoin, right, then we're looking for the short. And it took that short 17 days to present itself, right? So it really is a waiting game. It's a sit on your hands and wait type situation here. I agree with you, Crypto Maxi. Do something, move up, move down. I quite honestly could not care less. I'm in longs and shorts, so I'll get stopped out in profit on whichever one gets stopped out, and then I'll just keep cashing in on the. I will say I probably favor medium term. I don't care. Long term, I hope the next big move up is up. I hope the next big move is up. But like in the medium term here, just do something. Stop me out of one of my trades and just let the other one run. Like, I want to see price do something. Should we pretend? Should we pretend like back like a couple weeks ago? Should be like, oh man, it's gonna dump. It's gonna dump. Oh no, it's just going sideways again. Oh my god, we're getting a move. Oh my god. Oh, this is fun again. Oh my god. I'm so bored. I'm just kidding, guys. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. We took a look at Casper. We took a look at Link. We took a look at Solana. We took a look at ETH. Let's see. Crypto Max, he said, oh my god, it's moving. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at INJ for B Griffin, because he said he loves the stream. And B Griffin, I love you for loving the stream. So let's go ahead and take a look at INJ. You know, as some people call it. I think a lot of people like to call it INJ. Let's go ahead and pull up the what do we want to look at? Coinbase? Ugh. So gross, so boring. Ugh. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look here. We'll take a look at INJ, and then we will wrap it up here. Okay. Take a look at the daily. I will say this. Oh, thank you, B. Griffin. Thank you, B. Griffin, for making us look at something that looks somewhat different. Money flow on INJ coming to the upside. Not looking that bad. This actually doesn't look horrible in my opinion. I may actually be able to do some TA here. Thank you, B. Griffin. You saved the day. Shout out to you, bro. All right, let me pull some fibs here from the... Interesting. Oh, and shout out to Baker. Shout out to Baker. Yes, I'll check out Gala for you. I forgot about that. Yes, we will take a look at Gala as well right after this. Okay. Shout out to Crypto Poyo said Wednesday Wednesday you have CPI at 8:30 and FOMC at 2 p.m. There will be fireworks for sure. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Maxi. Very likely. That's basically what I'm basing my assumption of a big move either up or down happening this week is heavily based off those news events. What happens is a whole nother story for sure. But yeah, thank you for saying that, Crypto Poya, because maybe I did mention. I don't know if I specifically mentioned that, but that is why I do anticipate a big move, either breaking us out of this range to the upside or back down to the value area low, is heavily based off FOMC and the CPI. We do have high impact news this week. So, all right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Yeah, B. Griffin, I could not thank you enough, bro. Shout out to you. This money flow actually looks good. It looks decent, right? This would be, if we are able. Now, let's think about this, guys, right? Money flow indicates longer-term trend. What happened last time money flow crossed over into the red? Well, last time money flow was coming out, we started a downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs, right? The overall trend was coming down as money flow was leaving the market, right? So as money flow comes out, you're going to be looking for shorting the lot. You're going to be better off shorting the lower highs rather than just looking for moonshot longs, right? Very similarly, we have money flow coming up on the daily here. This means that we may be starting a trend, overall trend to the upside. That does not mean that when the money flow crosses over, we're just going to go straight up like that. But it means that if we do see that money flow crossover, it's going to be more likely to continue the overall trend to the upside, right? So for that reason, I would be potentially interested in longs here, assuming that we're not going to just fake out into the green and come back into the red. If that money flow crosses into the green, I would be interested in longs, and I'd probably be using this local profile. Bada boom. Value area high, POC value. I would be using this volume profile as context into where to potentially look for the longs. It's kind of a hard fib to pull. I don't know. I would definitely be watching the value area low. I don't know if you're going to get back down. Like, you might not be lucky enough to come all the way back down into this range, but if we did, I would definitely, especially if money flow continues up, if we wiggled back down to that value area low, I would definitely be looking for longs if that money flow was still kind of coming up, right? So value area low 786. You also have a nice POC. You also have a nice POC golden pocket confluence here. I don't hate that as well. And then you do have a more local. Yeah, those would be the two major levels I'd look at. Now, depending on what happens next here, right? Like maybe we shoot up again. You could look at the value area high. Like these are just generally going to be your three major key levels. But you do have confluence on both of these levels. So these would be the two best levels, in my opinion, to look for bounces at. But, you know, that's assuming you don't bounce above that, bounce on that value area high, right? So, yeah, I would look for something, right? For lackluster pullback, if that money flow continues up. Because remember, if the overall trend's going to continue up, you're looking for lackluster pullbacks to put in a higher low and continue the trend to the upside. So there you go. That is really what I'd be looking at on INJ, at least on the daily. Let's take a look at the 12-hour money flow in the green, 2-day. Yeah, you know, you still have the VWAPs don't look as bad on INJ. I will say that. 2-day VWAPs coming down a little bit, but that daily doesn't look bad. So yeah, other than that, simply put, if you continue up, like you have this upper volume profile to keep a look at, to look at for context, right? So if you do continue up here, whether you get the pullback to here, or maybe you just bounce off the value area high, if you do get that continuation, you know that that value area low above is going to be your real key level to not only look for shorts like we were talking about earlier today, because if you pull up Lux Algo, once again, shout out to Lux Algo, swing change of character, almost the same exact thing as on Ethereum. Swing change of character, break to the downside, any move up based, and it's all context, right? It's all context. With this macro change of character, if we push up here, you have to anticipate that that value area low is going to be key resistance until it's flipped to support. And then once you flip it to support, you can look to go to the POC, flip the POC, get a move to the value area high. But because of this change of character, swing change of character, right? You are going to potentially be looking at that as key resistance. You have to be aware of that. But those are the key levels I'd look at. And not only that, but where I'd be potentially looking for some long positions if we do get a retracement. So there you go, baby. Shout out to Chemistry Bro. Said, Chach, baby. Chach. Shout out to Chem Bro. Let's go. Thank you for being here, brother. We got Crypto Anon in the chat. What is going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Shout out to Crypto Max. He said, I could turn 0.5 Bitcoin into 0.01 Bitcoin all day long. Shout out to Crypto Maxi. Let's get it. All right, let's see. Oh, you guys are funny. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. What's up, Anon? What's going on, brother? Thank you for being here. Hope you are doing well. All right, so let's see. We took a look at INJ. How are we doing on time? Okay, we can do a couple more. All right, let's take a look at NEAR really quickly. We can try to take a look at, let's take a look at Brett real quick. Just because there's probably not going to be much for me to say here. Yeah, this is like impossible to analyze on the higher time frames. But yeah, Brett, I'll be honest with you guys, you know, with the meme coins, not that the TA isn't respected, but it's like, I mean, what's the market cap on? Like something like Pepe, right? Like if you look at Pepe is tradable and the TA is there, right? It is analyzable, if you will, right? Let's see. Oh, shout out to Golden said, Putin said last Friday that BRICS is considering XRP as their go-to currency in the future. Thoughts? Shout out to Golden. I gotta look into that. That is interesting. I'll be honest. XRP, as far as I'm concerned, is, you know, I talk about this all the time. I'm bullish on XRP. Like, I think it will move, right? But I also have stopped buying it, right? I actually, the last few times I went to buy XRP, I actually allocated that money somewhere else, and it wound up being a good decision, right? Now, I say that already having a big bag of XRP, right? So if it moons, I'm happy, right? But I stopped allocating money to it. I think that could be huge, Golden. It just depends on, here's the thing with like news like that is if it actually happens, it could be bullish. Now, or would very likely give us a move, right? But with things like that, it's like, especially if the rumors start to get murmured, right? Like it's starting to they're starting to talk about the rumors and then it gets rejected, right? Or they wind up not doing it, right? It could have kind of like the opposite effect or a rubber band effect in the opposite direction. So to be honest, shout out to Golden. That is something I would definitely take into consideration and could definitely lead to a huge move. But just with the way I am as a trader, I don't normally put that much weight. Like, put it this way. On the Bitcoin ETF, right? Like, I made almost no trading decisions based off the ETF approval, other than, like, even the shorts that we were looking at over here as that ETF got approved. The short wasn't even really based off the fact that we got the bullish news. We just knew that typically when you get huge bullish news on something on Bitcoin, like every other big financial product that was released for Bitcoin, the CME futures, all this stuff, like even like I think MasterCard or Visa incorporating all these like huge news events oftentimes mark big tops or the starts of some kind of significant pullback. So even though we knew that it was likely if we got the news that we'd get a pullback, because just the simple buy the rumor, sell the news, that's not what I was trading. Simply the only reason I was looking for a short here was the fact that we had a daily bearish divergence with beautiful money flow coming out. So yes, could totally be huge, but just with the way I am as a trader, I would simply just react to what the chart says. So if the chart didn't say long, I wouldn't really make a decision. I just use the news as kind of like a secondary thing. But that's huge. I'm going to look into that, Golden, because I did not know that. Very, very interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue back on to what we were looking at. What were we looking at? We took a look at INJ. And I guess let's take a look. Oh, yeah, we're looking at Brett, right? Yeah. So with something like Brett, like this is very hard to analyze, right? Like this is just like up in a straight line. There's no real identifiable structure on the higher time frames at least, right? Like even on the daily, like we have no money flow to deal with here. So really all I could do is look at short-term price action, but even that is like a little wonked out here. Yeah, like money flow is just in the green. It's and you know with the meme coins, like they do more often move off hype rather than just like completely respecting technicals. But what I could do is give you some key levels on here real quick before we move on to our next altcoin. So yeah, this value area low 786 looks pretty decent. You're holding the golden pocket right now, but the fact that you've already lost the POC and haven't hit that value area low yet makes me think that you could potentially, if you lose that golden pocket, come down to that POC 786 or a value area low 786. So yeah, I would be willing to call that some significant support. And then let me go ahead and pull this to this swing. Yeah, I mean, that value area low looks, I'd actually rather take these. Mark that 786. Bada boom. So yeah, there's your next key support levels, right? If you are going to continue up and you don't, you're most likely going to bounce off the golden pocket. If not, 786 could be that next area to look at. But as far as like legitimate, like in-depth analysis on this, it's not really saying anything to me. And again, more often than not, things like this, even though it says, oh, super bullish, super bearish, whatever it is, typically you don't really get the moves that you're looking for just because these things do typically move base more off of hype. You do have a bullish divergence about to print down here. So I would, if you can get that bull div at that value area low, golden pocket could be another area to bounce. But I'm just not interested in trading the meme coins like that. Like I'll trade Pepe. But again, like the difference between Pepe and Brad are very very large difference there, right? Like there's so much more to look at here on Pepe. So it's not just all meme coins, right? It's really like how much volume is traded, right? Like what is the market cap, right? Like this all affects the way the market behaves or the asset behaves. So like you can see here, like on Pepe, like it's very clear, right? You're in this nice volume profile, respecting the lows, respecting the highs, respecting the POCs, right? You lose the value area high, back down to the POC, back down to the value area low. Now you're deviating from the value area low. You got this nice bearish retest on the value area low. So like Pepe trades much more technically than a lot of other altcoins. But if I were looking at Brett, I would be looking at something like this. But again, like look just like how much more ugly this is. It's like, sure, you respect the lows and the highs, but it's just kind of wonked out. Very hard to analyze something like this, but those are definitely the local levels that I would look at. So yeah, value area low, golden pocket sitting between about 15.157 and 0.155, and then your 786 coming in closer to about 14 cents or 0.146. Those would be the next key levels to the downside that I would be looking at if you continue to push down. But right now you're just bouncing off the value area low. So keep an eye on this range. And then those are the next key levels to the downside. So quick little stop off at Brett. But now let's go ahead and jump into, let's see. Shout out to Cobby. Shout out to Cobby Goat. Shout out to you, brother. It says, Frankie, quick question. If you see this, what software or platform do you use to track all your transactions for tax purposes and also your portfolio? Shout out to Cobby. Great question. I will say this, not a tax professional. I cannot give tax advice in any way, shape, or form. But typically, I use, you can use, what did I use? Is it TaxBit? I think it's TaxBit was the name of it. Yeah, I think TaxBit. There's a few of them. There's a bunch of different programs that you can use to track all that stuff. But all your exchanges give you CSV exports of all your transactions, right? So if you work with an accountant or whoever is doing your taxes that needs your information, you could go to your exchange and they all will give you, like, there's a section in all exchanges to like give you those CSV printouts and tax forms and all that stuff. So you don't have to do it manually. Definitely don't recommend doing it manually, but not financial advice. So there you go. You can check out, there's a whole bunch of different softwares you can use. You just Google, crypto tax software. There's a bunch of them. I'll just do it right now. Bada boom. CoinLedger. That was actually the one I used. CoinLedger was the one I used. Coinly is another one that I've heard of. But I use CoinLedger. CoinLedger worked great for me. So you guys can check that out. And then as far as shout out to Tan. As far as tracking portfolios, I'll be honest with you, I have not found a better way to track portfolios other than just doing it manually. CoinMarketCap offers a portfolio. I track a lot of it there. You could use something like CoinStats that'll connect to your wallets and your exchanges. The thing with the APIs, though, if you connect anything to your exchanges or your wallets, for whatever reason, I've never used one of those and not had a problem, right? Like, it'll work for like a month or two, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're up $42 billion. And it's just like, everything gets messed up somehow. So you still have to kind of maintain those automatic like coin trackers. But for me, I do it old school and all manual on CoinMarketCap, or at least for a lot of it. It depends. I have the business, I have I have all these different accounts, but a lot of it I do on CoinMarketCap. I also use CoinStats as well. Shout out to KG, said I made it to the live stream super late. You're all good, bro. We're just happy to see you in here. Shout out to Chemistry Bro, said CoinMarketCap portfolio tracker is pretty easy, just takes a bit to set up. I also have one I built in Excel. Yeah, shout out to Chem Bro. I highly recommend the CoinMarketCap one. I have the way they display everything is like nice and clean. And you just have to go back. Like, the most annoying part is just doing the brunt work of like initially putting everything into the tracking everything, right? And then once you get it all up to date, it's like, oh, I'm gonna buy a little bit of Ethereum. You buy the Ethereum and then you just type it into CoinMarketCap one time. It's not a big deal, and you know it's never gonna get messed up, right? Because you're in control of everything. So there you go. But let's go ahead and continue on. We'll take a little bit of ICP. I see a lot of people asking for ICP, but we'll take a look at Gala first for our boy Baker. Let's go ahead and check out Gala. Let's see here. Okay, we have not looked at Gala in quite some time. Let's see. Actually, Okay. Shout out to Barney's. Says those CSVs can be often incorrect when using or moving assets across exchanges and wallets. Integration sucks. Be prepared. Yeah, shout out to Barney's. Yeah, I mean, be careful, guys. I'm not a tax professional. I had no problems with CoinLedger. Everything worked out great. But yeah, I'm sure depending on how much you move stuff, everyone's tax situation is going to be much different. Mine is quite a nightmare. Based off many reasons. But yeah, just be careful. I definitely talk to a tax professional. I don't even recommend like doing your crypto taxes by yourself, especially if you're like moving a lot of money. I would definitely like get someone who knows what they're doing on your side. That's what I do. I'm not a tax person. I'm a crypto guy. So anything I don't know, I like to just refer to someone who is much better at it than I am. Shout out to Carlton Dennis. Go hit up his company. We had him on the show a while ago, and he is like a tax superhuman. So shout out to him. But Kabi says, okay, thank you so much for answering. I currently use CoinLedger, but unfortunately they haven't added support for ordinals and runes on BTC yet. Yeah, if you're getting into like all that kind of stuff, that's a little bit more difficult. And the more in-depth with that stuff you go, definitely the more complicated it gets. But yeah, I would just say reach out to somebody who knows. It's kind of how I do like anything in my life. It's like if I'm not a air conditioning guy, like I'll try to fix it myself, but usually I just wind up breaking stuff more. Not with AC particularly, but just get the experts to handle the stuff that you're not confident in, especially when it comes to your finances. Though, it's very important to shout out to Mrs. Candles. You okay? Oh, all right. Oh, she's just checking in. She's checking in. Show a little hand. Come on, Mrs. Candles. It's about halfway through. We're almost done with the stream here. Did that come in? Come on, swirl it around. Oh, she's swirling it around live. Let's go. Do it one more time. Woohoo! Smells like super you. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. There's those Mrs. Candles hands. What are you doing? Don't drink my stuff. She's just coming in here, guys. She's just using me. Hey, I need it. Oh, all right, fine. I think they could hear you, Mrs. Candles. Mark Duck said pregnancy test. What does that even mean? He said that's okay. Shout out to Mark Dutch. He's shout out to Mark. But anyway, shout out to Mrs. Candles. But let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Crypto Max. He said most exciting thing ever. Okay, so taking a look at Gallic here, guys. All right, so this value area high is still important, right? You have your value area high, your POC, your value area low. This is likely going to be the next place that we stick to if we do wind up coming down here. Probably going to be the next key level. But yeah, we got a lot to look at here. Let me start fresh real quick. All right, let's pull our fib from, whoops, I'll fix that in a minute. From the swing low to the swing high. Yeah, I mean, this is, let me pull this. No, pull that. No, pull this. Yeah, it's that same thing. It's the same one that we were just looking at. So what I would be looking at here, guys, is I will just label up these levels for you. Shout out to, who asked for this? I keep forgetting. Baker. Shout out to Baker. But yeah, I would be looking at this as your next key level of support, which has been working so far. Value area high 786 confluence. If you do wind up getting a move down there, look for the bounce off these levels. And then I'll be honest, if you lose this, I would definitely be looking to come down to the POC and the value area low. As not only would you be losing the value area high of the range, which would indicate more downside, but also you'd be losing the 786 Fibonacci retracement level, which would oftentimes be the invalidation for a strong bounce, and that would likely indicate that you're going to come back down and rotate through this entire range. So that is what I would look at there as far as support. Let's check out some naked points of controls really quick. No NPOCs within that range, or at least on the daily, but you do right on the value area low of a weekly naked point of control. This would definitely be worth looking at. Bada boom, bada bing. So if you did wind up coming back down to that level, this, I don't know if you're going to wind up coming all the way back down here, but if you did, that would definitely be a zone I'm interested in taking a long at. If you want to have it on your chart, I would definitely recommend it. That would be in the longer term, though. So what I will do is I'll go ahead and hide this. We'll put that in a folder, and then we'll go ahead and hide it. As far as your local price action, I would definitely, clearly we have a range here. And we are losing that range, right? So this is kind of your, I would not, nothing really to me screaming that, there's a long to be had here. Like even the bullish divergence that you got here on the 4 hour, just look how choppy this is, guys. This is not a short-term trading market right now. This is all chop. So no reason to go long here, but I'll just give you those levels. I would definitely be looking at this volume profile between about 0.04687 and 0.04062. If you flip that value area low at 0.04062, if you flip that level to support, that is kind of your doorway or your doorway to higher prices, so to say. Get above that, you could look to rotate back up into the range. But other than that, guys, I would be letting this play itself out. Those are really the key levels I'd be looking at. I would not be interested in trading this short term. But those are your key levels to the downside with a focus on that weekly naked point of control, sitting closer to about 0.028 cents. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Near. Shout out to Jack. We could take a look at Near. Shout out to Jack, my nephew. His name is Jack. All right, let's see. Interesting. Okay, so we have 2 alerts here. I'm just going to get rid of these to clean things up. But actually, I think it's gone forever. But anyway, I'll just get rid of this one too. Okay, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so for the most part here, this is somewhat interesting, right? I don't know what these local levels are. Where is this fib pulled from? Get rid of this. Okay. So what I would be looking at here is, number one, come up to the daily. These are our key levels, right, to the upside in the macro, right, in the long term. This is what we're looking for. A little bada boom, little bada bing, little bada boom, right? This all remains the same. We've gone from our bear market range, broken out, retested the high, got our move up to the old value area low, which was, indeed, the value area low was indeed the doorway to lower or to higher prices. Once you flip that value area low, you look for a move up to your next key level, which is the daily naked point of control at 920. You got the move. And now we are just stuck between that daily naked point of control and this value area low. As long as we remain above that value area low, we could potentially, as long as we hold support here, we could potentially anticipate to move our way not only up to the daily naked point of control, but potentially targeting the value area high in POC, which is sitting all the way up at the high of the range here. But this might take time, right? It might take time to get that big move. We might go down and up and down and up and just bore around here. We might spend 2 weeks at the same price, and then it might get all nasty and boring. But what we could do there to kind of break up that monotony is look at this local range as well. So longer term time frames or longer term levels remain exactly the same. But if we hide that, actually, let me see what all this is. What is all this? This is all valid as well, but I'm just going to go ahead and hide that for now. But I would be keeping an eye on this range between about 1354 value area high, POC 1125, value area low 641. That is going to be the major range I'd be looking at, or the high time frame range. And then lower time frames, I would simply be looking at this local range, right? I'll draw that out for you. Bada boom with a box. Bada bing. Put it neutral. Let's get our levels in there. Value area high, POC, value area low, right? Bada boom. So this is the range I'd be looking at for context. See if we get that 786. Okay, yeah, so we have a full golden pocket retracement. So as we deviate below this value area low, what do we look for, right? We're looking for longs, right? You deviate below the low. This is not necessarily where we get overly bearish. So this would be where I'd be looking for scalp longs. You have this nice golden pocket sitting at about 589. I would definitely be watching that. Let me see. We're actually coming down to a local 786 here as well. Let me pull up some naked points of control. No dailies. It's kind of low. Let me see. So you do have this weekly level. Is that tapped? Is that weekly tapped? Not quite. We front ran that weekly. So I would still technically look at this weekly level as support. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. So you have a weekly level down there. Let's take a look at the daily. I think this daily's tapped. Yeah, that daily just got tapped, but I'll still mark it out there. Bada boom. And then we also have this daily down here, which is naked. And we have this naked daily. It's not a naked daily. Okay, that's a tap daily. Okay. So yeah, these are going to be like kind of the local levels I'd be looking at, right? Get a move down. This could be the next area to be looking for a potential bounce, right? So these are the local levels I'd be looking at. Your key resistance would be coincidentally confluent with your value area high and your 786. So I would look at that as resistance level. Obviously, the golden pocket has already been rejected. So I would actually also... These are the resistance. Whoops. These are the resistance levels that I would be watching. So there you go. There's a local local context for what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Bada boom. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. So yeah, key level of resistance is going to be this box right here between 735 and 696. Key levels of support or major levels to the downside is going to be the weekly and daily sitting between $5.72 and $5.58. Shout out to Dark Crash. What is going on, brother? I did drink no water today. I apologize, Dark Crash. Please still be my friend. Shout out to you, brother. He said, when BTCTA? Shout out to Dark Crash. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to take a look at Bitcoin again until it moves at some point this week. We're going to have to call up Satoshi. We'll see if my cousin Satoshi can move this stuff. Once again. Okay, so let's continue on here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at, let's take a quick look at Fetch. Oh, Dave Digital in the chat. What is going on, brother? Welcome in. Is this thing on? Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to Dave, bro. We were waiting for like 45 minutes to start the live stream. We thought you were coming. But then we just had to start, bro. Shout out to Dave Digital. All right, let's continue on here. Taking a look at Fetch. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's clear this. Take a look. Let's see. Man, I wish I had exo charts on. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. So, yeah, I would not necessarily just be looking for giga shorts right this second just because we are already below that volume profile with the daily VWAP coming up. This could potentially give us a retracement. However, let's see. Let's pull up the naked points of control. Come on. There we go. All right, let's see. This, I'm actually going to look at the weeklies only. Yeah, so I would definitely, here's a weekly naked point of control. I would definitely pay attention to this one. You actually have two of them here. And I would almost bet my bottom dollar. Nah, not really. I thought your golden pocket was going to be much more. There it is. Okay. So let's take a look here. Pull that. Oh, this is annoying. Okay. Why are these volume profiles are just disappearing on me? I don't know why that's happening. Yeah, is it? Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay. So let me turn off the naked points of control. Oh, actually, let me just make sure. Yeah, okay. We'll turn those off. Draw out our volume profile. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. We got our high. POC. Value area low. Boom. Okay, so this is going to be strong resistance, right? Because not only is it our value area low and then a local golden pocket 786 confluence here, right? So this is definitely going to be, as you work your way back up, this would be key level of resistance to get above, especially if you're looking for a continuation, right? So if we do come back up, have to expect that this is going to be strong resistance, just like a lot of other stuff that we looked at. It's almost identical. But once you flip this weekly naked point of control, that is the line in the sand. Typically, it's flipping the value area low to support, but because of the confluence down here, we got a lot to work through here once we get back up. So you got to flip that 786 weekly naked point of control to support before we can look for a move up from that 786 up to that POC and value area high. So this is definitely what I would be looking at. And yeah, especially if we start to get a retracement here, maybe tomorrow or something, or over the next few days. Very, very cautious approaching that $2.06 level, as it is very confluent with the weekly naked point of control, 786 golden pocket value area low. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Mark. Shout out to Mark said, that whole time I thought Mrs. Candles was mute. This is the first time I've heard her talk. I thought it was the type of this type of Canadian girlfriend. Shout out to Mark. I was gonna say, every time I say hi to everybody, she's 2 miles away from the microphone, and she's like, hi. She's like a mouse. Shout out to Mark. Yeah, so you guys actually heard her that time. Tan G. Shout out to you, brother. I am not a political person. I'll just say that. I think it's all a scam, to be honest with you. Shout out to Tanji. Let's see. Okay, so that is what I'd be looking at on Fetch. Did I say I haven't been saying ICP this whole time? That's what I'd be looking at here on Fetch. As far as key levels, and again, I wouldn't really be panicked. If I was not short already on this, I would not be looking to FOMO short. I'd rather wait for a retracement and a potential, pullback into one of our key levels, which are is just what we went over. So that's what I look for locally on Fetch.ai. Analyze the price action as we approach this next little rejection zone. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at ICP. This is everyone's looking for ICP. Yeah, very similarly to everything else, we are, 2-day money flow in the red, 3-day money flow not looking, I'll be honest with you guys, like some of this stuff doesn't look great. Not typically the point in the cycle where everything just dumps, but this money flow does not look good. Like that 3-day money flow does not look great. Higher time frames don't, this money flow doesn't, that 3-day looks pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. But let's take a look here. So as we lose our range here, guys, this is typically where we're looking for bounces, right? But with the way our money flow looks, I wouldn't really be looking for 4-hour money flow crossing back over into the green. I'm just going to give the levels on this. I will say the 3-day money flow definitely doesn't look good. But we could get a retracement before that winds up playing out, if it is going to play out. 1-hour money flow starting to come back up. 12-hour green dot looking to print. So I think you're probably more likely to bounce here, in my own personal opinion. Not that we're about to bounce up to $1 million, but between that 12-hour green dot, like your 10-hour green dot is confirmed. Once you get that 12-hour green dot and that 45-minute money flow crosses into the green, which it is about to do, or it actually is currently doing right now, I do think we could see a continued bounce here. But if we do, I would be definitely careful based off the higher time frames, right? Your VWAPs aren't even crossing over. Yeah, this is hard. I'm going to give the key levels on this. This is kind of hard to call, to be quite honest with you. But this would be the profile I would consider us deviated from. Bada boom. And then POC sitting right here. Value area low sitting right here. So I would look for a bounce here. I don't even know. It's hard to say if I would be more interested in shorting this on a retracement or just looking to hold the long here to get above that value area low. There's no real clear evidence right now. Yeah, it's choppy, guys. This is choppy. I'll give you the key levels, though. Value area low right here is your key level and doorway to higher prices. Doorway to higher prices. Okay. And then your POC, right? It's just a POC. It's not the doorway to anything, really. Well, I guess it could be the doorway to higher prices if you flip it to support. And then you have your value area high. So this is definitely the range I would be looking at. Let me pull up some of the naked points of control, or naked POCs, as some of them call. Let's see. Bada boom. Bada bing. I honestly wouldn't mind something drastic to go down here. Like, even if it results in a big dump to the downside, I would rather see something than nothing. Because this is like a brutal market. Like, we need to shake out all this chop and get more clear signals here. Okay, so to the downside, you have this. Well, actually, let me check the weekly real quick. Okay, weekly naked point of control. This is worth keeping an eye on. And then I will also mark out this daily naked point of control sitting right here. Bada boom. We'll turn that off. Let me pull this fib from the high to Zello. PLC confluence. Yeah. So, yeah, this is key resistance, right? Very similar to the last thing that we just looked at. I don't even remember what it was. I guess it was INJ. But I would be looking at, very, very key resistance here. I would actually probably shrink this down to here. First zone I'd be interested in looking at for key resistance, right? Not only do you have the value area low, you got your golden pocket and that weekly naked point of control. Once you flip that naked point of control, you have an opportunity to come up to the POC and the value area high. But I would be cautious potentially of a reversal here. It's not as clear as on the other coins, but that's your doorway to higher prices. So you got to get above that. And honestly, more realistically, you want to get above it's kind of hard to say. It's a lot of resistance here. It's like almost like you really got to get above the POC to open up a bigger move. Because, like, if you flip the value area low, okay, great. But then you have a key level of resistance above you, like right above you, right? And then it's like, oh, okay, well, then the golden pocket's the level to flip. But then you have the 786 right above you. It's like, okay, well, then the 786 is the level to flip. And then you have the POC right above you. So at that point, I don't even know if I would call this the doorway to higher prices. Because really the doorway to higher prices is going to be your POC in this case. It doesn't make this not your doorway to higher prices, but you just have to understand that those local levels are just above you. So there you go. Those are the key levels I'd be looking at. And again, indicators are just completely, just daily not looking as good. Like INJ is like much cleaner coming up there. 4-hour money flow crossing over into the green. Where's that 45? Yeah, that 45-minute with the 12-hour green dot is your most likely case to get a move back up into this purple zone. And then you can reassess the situation in this resistance zone and try to figure out if you can, look for a short or if you just want to hold to get accepted into the range and go higher. Very, very hard to call. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's, hey, shout out to Arca. Thank you for that $20 super chat, bro. I appreciate it. He said, keep killing it for retail, my bro. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you for that super chat. And, we ain't stopping no time soon, baby. Shout out to Arca. I appreciate you, man. And shout out to everybody in here that stuck around till the end of the stream, guys. That's about all the time we got for tonight's live stream. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Same place, same time. Hopefully, we could get a move on Bitcoin here to happen on these news events that are coming up. FOMC, CPI. Hopefully one of these things moves price and gives us a nice, clean, fresh chart without the murkiness added to it. So with all that being said, shout out to everybody in here right now. Shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you all for tuning in and sticking around till the end of the stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. Right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. Shout out to Tyler Durden. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bye. Bing bong.
Coach, what's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Are you done? Are you done, bro? Hang on 1 sec, Tosh. Hang on. I got it. You good? He's good. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, I said a question. Oh, don't worry about that. That's okay. Don't worry about that. Oh, yeah, that's... No, I dropped something. But anyway, I was wondering, we're pretty bored. Do you think you can maybe pump or dump this thing? I don't even have a request this time. Just move it sometime before Friday. Please just rip this thing or dump it. Is it possible? You're in Cancun. Okay, well, you have a phone, don't you? Okay. All right. Maybe? You got us? Thank you. All right, bro. All right, thanks. I got to get back to this. He's getting back up. All right. I'll see you later, dude. Thank you. All right, peace. Oh, God. Oh, no, you guys didn't see that, did you guys? That shit. Listen, guys. He started it. Stay down. He started it, guys. I'm sorry. But hey, good news. Our boy Satosh said he's going to try to help us out this week. I think he'll pull through. That's all the time I got, guys. I'll see you next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up.